Imagine the imperial harem as a place of effortless luxury, silks, tea, and romance. But in reality, it was a highly structured, ruthless bureaucracy where beauty was a commodity and virtue was a weapon. To the emperor, this wasn't just a household, it was a matter of state security. Today, we are looking at the grueling selection process that turned commoners into consorts and noble women into prisoners of the inner palace. If you lived during the Ming Dynasty, being beautiful was often considered a curse. Why? Because of the selection. To prevent noble families from gaining too much power, the Ming often drafted girls from commoner families. Imagine the stress. 5,000 teenage girls are brought to the capital for what can only be described as a high-stakes elimination tournament. Round 1, eunuchs cut 1,000 girls instantly for being too tall, too short, or too stout. Round 2, 2,000 women were eliminated based on their gait and the sound of their voices. Final exam. Now we have 2,000 left. The remaining few didn't just have to be pretty. They were tested on calligraphy, mathematics, and temperament. The palace didn't just want a wife. They wanted an educated administrator who wouldn't start a civil war. By 1644, the rules changed. The Qing dynasty, who were Manchurian, instituted the Xiunû system. This wasn't about the masses, it was about the elite. If you were a girl born into the 8 banners, you were legally forbidden from marrying until you had been presented to the emperor. Every 3 years, mule-drawn carriages would arrive at the Forbidden City under the cover of the night. Selection was simple but cold. If the emperor liked you, your name card was kept. If not, your card was turned down, and you were finally mercifully free to go back home and live a normal life. Honestly, I just wish my card was not taken. Once inside, you entered a rigid hierarchy. At the top, there's the Empress. Think of her as a CEO. She managed the budget, the staff, and the drama. Below her, there was an imperial noble consort, like the Vice Empress. At the bottom, there was a dying. The women who lived, these women lived in communal quarters and might spend their entire lives in their palace without ever once speaking to the emperor. Now, you see, when I see this, especially when they say that someone might never have ever even seen the emperor, I'm like, why then must this excessive selection take place? This number was large, 5,000 women. Why? Can't you just pick a pool of like 100 women or something? But anyways. And then there was a Gonyu, the palace maids. While they were the workforce, history shows us they weren't to be overlooked. The legendary Empress Dowager Cixi, sorry, I'm not very good with pronouncing these Chinese words, began her journey not as a queen, but as a lower-ranking lady, eventually seizing control of the entire Qing Empire. Entering the harem meant your family received status and wealth, but for the women, it often meant a life of isolation. Many families intentionally marred their daughters' beauty or married them off in secret just to avoid the draft. Thank God for such parents. Because in the Forbidden City, the higher you climbed, the more dangerous the fall. So guys, tell me, would you prefer going into the harem or staying outside? Me, I'm staying outside.